Hey guys, how you going? My name is Dom and today I want to show you how to create your own HTTP GET function inside JavaScript. So by doing this, you can then, inside your JavaScript code, you can just type out HTTP GET and then pass in the URL followed by the callback function. Okay, so we're going to create this function in this video. And the purpose of this function is to actually hide all the AJAX logic that happens behind the scenes. So you can actually include this function inside your own personal libraries or the actual source code for your website. Okay, so let's go ahead and create this function right now. So we can get rid of this and hop inside the source code for this document. Okay, so just keep in mind that this function is very simple and very basic. It only supports the GET request and a callback function. Okay, so let's just define this function up here and we'll call this one HTTP GET. Okay, this will take in two arguments, the first one being the URL and the second one being the callback function. Okay, so you can pass in your own function which will actually deal with the request once it's loaded. Okay, so inside the function body, let's create the XML HTTP request object. So let's make a new constant and we'll call this one request equal to a new XML HTTP request. Okay, so we can then open the request. So down here, let's just say request.open. Okay, we're going to pass in as a GET request, okay, and then the URL. This will also be an asynchronous request. Alright, so that's pretty standard right there. Alright, so this URL comes from the one supplied by the function argument. Okay, so we can now define what happens when the request comes back and it all loads and we get a response. Okay, so we can say request.onload. So when it loads up, we're going to run this function inside here. So this function is actually it's just going to call the callback function. All right, so we can call the callback function, all right, and pass in the request object. All right, so the function you pass into here should now expect to receive the request object as an argument, and then from there you can just check the status and obviously convert to JSON or whatever. So that's how that works. Okay, we can then just say request.send. Right, so that's all it is for the HTTP GET function. Right, so let's now use this function in practice. So let's just make a new file which will be the actual file to receive and make a request to. Let's just call this one details.txt and then say decode on YouTube. Okay, we can save this and now inside the JavaScript code let's make a request to this details.txt file. Alright, so down here let's say HTTP GET and then pass in the string for details.txt. Alright, we can then pass in a callback function. This function expects the request object as an argument, okay, from that one right there. Inside here, we can then, as an example, we're going to console.log. We're going to console.log the request.response text. So the response text property of the request is just going to give us the actual response. Okay, so we can now save this and then refresh the browser. In the console we get decode on YouTube. Alright, so just keep in mind in here you can put your logic for your status code checking. So you can say if the request dot status is 200 then do something. If it's 404, do something. So all that stuff will take place inside your callback function. Alright, and that right there is how you can create your own HTTP GET function inside JavaScript. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.